The rain poured relentlessly that night, drumming against the tin rooftops of a forgotten countryside village. In the shadows of a small, crumbling house, a woman huddled near the doorway, clutching her youngest daughter close to her chest. Her face was bruised, her body trembling, not from the cold, but from the cruelty she had endured. Her only crime was giving birth to daughters, not sons. Inside, her husband's angry words still echoed like thunder, tearing her spirit apart. "You're worthless, you gave me nothing but girls. Get out of my sight." With nowhere to go, she gathered her 3 little girls, each no older than 7, their tiny feet bare against the mud, and stepped out into the storm. Hunger gnawed at their bellies, fear lingered in their eyes, but even in her pain, she whispered gently to them, "Don't cry, my angels. Mommy's here. Mommy will find a way." Far away, on the edge of the valley, a man sat alone in his quiet ranch house. His name was Ethan, a weathered rancher with hands scarred from years of work and eyes heavy from a lifetime of solitude. His wife had passed years ago, and he never had children. His days were filled with endless chores, but his nights were silent, filled only with the hollow sound of loneliness. That night, while checking the fences near the road, Ethan saw them, 4 fragile figures drenched in rain, stumbling in the mud. He stopped his truck and stepped out. At first, the woman shrank back, fear gripping her heart. Men had only brought her pain, cruelty, rejection. But Ethan's voice was different. It was deep, gentle, almost hesitant. "Ma'am, are you all right? The little ones, they're freezing." Tears welled in her swollen eyes. She wanted to speak but could only whisper, We have nowhere to go." Ethan looked at her daughters, shivering in the cold, their tiny hands clutching each other tightly. Something inside him cracked wide open. Memories of nights spent alone at his dinner table, staring at the empty chairs, flooded back. He couldn't bear to leave them there. He took a slow step closer, then another, and said the words that would change their lives forever. "You're coming with me." The woman froze, her breath catching in her throat. No one had ever said those words to her, not with kindness, not with safety, not with love. Ethan knelt down, met the girl's wide eyes, and smiled softly. "Don't worry, little ones. You'll be warm tonight, you'll eat, you'll be safe." He helped them into his old pickup truck, wrapping his worn ranch coat around their frail shoulders. As they drove through the storm, the girls slowly leaned against him, their eyes fluttering shut with exhaustion. For the first time in years, they felt safe. For the first time, the woman allowed herself to cry, not from pain, but from relief. When they reached the ranch, Ethan brought them inside. The fire roared to life, and the smell of warm food filled the air. The girls ate with wide, grateful eyes, while their mother sat in silence, still afraid it was all a dream. But Ethan didn't just give them shelter for one night. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. He helped the woman heal, never once raising his voice, never once treating her daughters as a burden. Instead, he taught them how to ride horses, how to feed the cattle, how to laugh again. His once empty ranch filled with the sound of giggles, footsteps, and the warmth of a family he never thought he'd have. One evening, as the sun set in golden streaks across the wide open sky, the youngest girl climbed into his lap and whispered, "Are you our daddy now?" Ethan's eyes stung with tears. He looked at their mother, who sat quietly nearby, watching him with gratitude shining in her gaze. He gently placed his rough hand on the girl's tiny back and said, "If you'll let me be, then yes, I'd be honored." The woman's tears fell freely then. She had been cast out, beaten, rejected by the world, but here, in the arms of a lonely rancher with a heart of gold, she had found home. And Ethan, once a man consumed by loneliness, had discovered a family worth living for. Closing narration. Sometimes, kindness comes from the most unexpected places. Sometimes, a broken soul meets another broken soul, and together, they create something whole again. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because stories of hope and kindness deserve to be heard by the world.